Welcome to JoTea. I'm Jody, and let's spill that perfect match tea. Perfect Match Season 3 is here, and this season is juicy before it even begins. The rollout for this has been crazy. I still do not understand the timeline. I'm assuming this was filmed probably around this time last year. Netflix usually takes a year to cook it up. I know that I made a video on TikTok in September of 2024. AD and Ollie were spotted dating. It would match up that they filmed this around this time last year. Now, one thing we're not gonna do is act like we don't already know that AD and Ollie are engaged and expecting a baby. So that has been part of the full promotion rollout. It's not a spoiler. If you're in the reality TV world, you already know that. So our starting lineup, obviously we've got AD and Ollie. One surprising one for me was Sandy from The Ultimatum. And when we're speaking about timelines, this one confused me because surely nobody knew who she was. Her show only came out 3 months ago. I did also see that JR is on the contestant list. He is not on the starting lineup, but I just need to get it in there that he is on the board. And if you watch my Ultimatum wrap-ups, I kind of low-key shipped them, so he needs to get in there, and let's see if they can get back together. They were never together, but they were trial marriage together, so they were kind of together. I want to see what happens if both of them are in the same villa together. We also have Louis from Too Hot to Handle, which is very ironic timing because I'm pretty sure the day Perfect Match dropped, he had launched his relationship with Huda from Love Island, who literally just walked out of Love Island USA like 2 weeks ago, and now Louis is dating her. He's also been exposed by other Love Island contestants that he's only with Huda for clout, and he's pissed off that he didn't go to Love Island and he's now stuck in the Netflix universe. So now he's just going to try and leech off of some Love Island contestants and get some more relevancy. So it is very ironic that he's on Perfect Match, and honestly I think this is it now for him with Netflix, because you do your show, he was on Too Hot to Handle twice, then you do Perfect Match, and I think that's kind of where the road ends. Except now they're starting to make things like Battle Camp and stuff, so they are making more shows to bring all these reality TV people back in and give them more opportunities. But I do think there's a limit to that, and Netflix isn't going to keep pushing the boat with the same people because people get bored. We've seen that with Chase. We don't really see Chase anymore. We don't really see Harry anymore. They use them for like 3 things and then they're done. So I think Louis' time is up, and I think he's just a little bit salty that he's not more popular than Love Island contestants, really. If I do think about it though, I think especially with his age, he probably would have been better off doing Love Island, but at the time he obviously thought Netflix was a better idea. We've also seen Cody, and he's from Temptation Island. I've never seen Temptation Island. I've seen some clips of I think it was the Spanish or the Mexican one, and that was out of pocket. Y'all know the clip I'm talking about. That shit was out of pocket. I've never watched Temptation Island, so I'm adding it to my list. We've got Lucy from Too Hot to Handle, and we know she catches feelings fast. She got hurt in her season by Charlie because she caught feelings on pretty much the first day. We've got Madison from Love is Blind. Again, nobody would have known who she was because her show wasn't out this time last year. But honestly, I didn't even recognize her at first when she walked in. She looked different. I think this will let us see a little bit more of her because Love is Blind kind of made me think that she was a little bit crazy. She was definitely given multiple personalities to the guy, and she was a different girl with each guy. So we'll see what she's like in this show. Daniel is from Dated and Related. I don't 100% remember him in that show. I think he was on it with his sister, if I remember correctly, but saying that, I don't remember fully. So he was obviously very quiet and in the background. Then we have people coming that is not from the Netflix universe, which I'm actually really happy to see because Netflix doesn't have that many people that want to keep coming back and doing these shows. Also, they're in the same world, right? So they obviously already know each other. It's gonna just get overcrowded. People know each other. If they wanted a date, they would have already done it. So inviting more people that's not from the Netflix universe is a very smart idea. But we've got Julia from Siesta Key. Is it called Siesta Key? I've never heard of that show at all. Like, never heard the name of that. So I don't know who she is. And then we've got Clayton from The Bachelor. I've never watched The Bachelor either. Of course I've heard of The Bachelor, but you actually can't watch The Bachelor if you're outside of America. If you know how to, let me know. I have tried, but like, you cannot get Hulu outside America, even with a VPN. I've tried. So yeah, I don't know how you can watch The Bachelor if you're not in America. So straight off the jump from episode 1, you can see as soon as Ollie walked in, he was all for AD. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen, all on TikTok last month, there was a rumor spreading that Ollie's gonna go in there and he's gonna play in AD's face. He's gonna choose her a second option, not exactly be 100% for her, and just play her throughout the whole season. From episode 1, you can see, like 10 seconds in, he is all over her. He is all for her, and by the end of episode 1, you would think that they knew each other. They're that close. But I'm pretty sure I've seen a clip of AD explaining their love story, and that they had been liking each other's Instagram stories back and forth, but they never spoke to each other. So when they actually met in Perfect Match, it was almost perfect for them to finally meet and get to know each other. But I do think it's going to be really interesting to see their story unfold, because we already know the ending. Now, from the jump, Clayton is heavy on Lucy. He is not playing. Usually people don't tell you, oh, this is who I like, when all the other girls can hear. He straight away was saying he likes Lucy and that's who he's going for. But Lucy is feeling Daniel, and honestly, their vibes match more than Lucy and Clayton. I don't see it happening. Nobody cares that Louis is in there. I honestly think he believes that he is some hot commodity and he expects everybody to be all over him, and he's just really not. He doesn't have a personality. He just thinks he is like him, and he isn't. He goes in there and nobody's interested. Nobody cares. It's like they all know your reputation, what you do. They're not interested. So I can definitely understand why he would be fuming he's in the Netflix universe, because yeah, people are pretty tired of him and he's pretty washed up now. But Sandy takes an interest in him, and if I'm honest, I think Sandy just needed a match. He's young, he's too young for her, although yeah, honestly, yeah, he's too young for her. She goes for 40-year-old men. I don't think she's interested in being the older woman. We see that Clayton clearly gets the message. He's not getting anywhere with Lucy, so he has to try Madison. At first I thought Madison was kind of feeling him, but she wasn't. She was just kind of sitting there letting him talk his way through it. Juliet, you are actually so embarrassing. I was embarrassed for her watching it. Like I said, I don't know what her show is. I don't know what she done on there. I don't know if it was even a love show. Clayton was trying to literally match with Madison, and she came up interrupting them twice. She was like, no, actually, like, this can't wait. I'm interrupting this conversation, because I think she knew Clayton was gonna match with Madison. But as soon as she actually succeeded and got Madison to leave so she could talk to Clayton, Madison runs downstairs and matches with Cody. I'm telling you, she had no interest in Clayton, but also Madison knew she was second choice. She knew, because Clayton told the whole group he was interested in Lucy. Now he just needed a second option, and Madison definitely wasn't going to be that. But Juliet is happy to be third choice, because as soon as Clayton heard Madison and Cody had matched up, he literally stood up and was like, what the fuck? Then he sat down and was like, okay, I guess we should match. They didn't even like kiss or nothing. He was just like, yeah, fist pump, yeah, we'll match. You're my match for tonight. And Juliet didn't really clock any of it. She was over the moon. She's like, yes, I got him. And like, she thought that was her man from the beginning, and this man is playing her. You are third option, baby girl. We even see in the next morning, he's like, oh, we're probably gonna have to kiss in this challenge, so let's just kiss now and get it over with. He didn't want to kiss her because he liked her. He's just like, just so it's not awkward when we get out there in front of everybody. He is such a player for the cameras, and honestly, Juliet deserves better, but right now she's just embarrassing herself. For the first challenge, Madison and Cody actually won, and this one actually spun me for a loop when they went into that boardroom, because I thought Madison liked Cody. I was like, they're actually getting along, they seem really nice, and they kind of vibes together. She went into that boardroom and she hooked herself up with a new man. The guys on the board was Jalen from Too Hot to Handle, Carrington from Love Island, JR from The Ultimatum, and Freddie from Love is Blind. I thought this was my moment. I thought JR and Sandy are going on a date. They even put it on the board, but Madison was like, hold on, wait a minute. I want to go on a date with Freddie. She's literally standing next to her perfect match, and she decided she wants to go on a date. So she ended up matching herself with Freddie. They also chose Carrington for Juliet. I don't know who Carrington is. He's from Love Island US. I've never watched Love Island US, but I will definitely tap in. Cody is obviously absolutely fuming that Madison chose a date for herself. He's like, she's a snake. You can tell that he is boiling. Straight away into episode 2, Carrington comes in and he is a love bomber. He prides himself in being a love bomber, and it's very evident from the first conversation that he has with Juliet. He just pulls out every compliment he can think of. It's kind of one of them situations where she could have brown eyes and he would screw up by telling her eyes are like the ocean, because he doesn't even care who's in front of him. He's just yapping. I actually noticed in this episode that Clayton looks like like Zayn from Love Island Australia. I think they are pretty identical to each other. We see when Madison gets back from her date with Freddie that her true colors are starting to show. The ones that we've seen in Love is Blind, that is the true Madison, because Juliet says she's actually interested in Cody and would Madison be okay with her getting to know him? And you could tell she was absolutely fuming. She was like, no, I want to stand on him like a cockroach. I want him out of here. She didn't even want any of the other girls to get to know him. She wanted him gone, out of her sight, like he had done something wrong to her. Girl, you were literally sleeping in the bed with him, kissing him, and then you went on a date with another guy. He's not the problem, you are. For me, watching Perfect Match, it's always so cringe when the guys are getting dumped and they're squirming. Like, they will literally try and tell you anything. They'll tell you the love of their life just to stay in. Cody, Carrington, and Clayton were all so desperate to stay in, and Juliet was the only one left. They were squirming to try and stay with her. You could tell none of them even liked her. I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for Juliet because they're all using her just as a ticket to stay in there. She ended up choosing Carrington in the end, but honestly, this man low-key hates her. The way he talks to her, the way he talks about her, he's horrible. I don't like Carrington at all. He's not a good choice for this show, and I don't understand how he was a bachelor choosing and dating 30 girls at a time. The second challenge was won by Ollie and AD, so they got to choose 2 girls to come in. I actually didn't know any of the girls that was on the board, so I honestly need to lock the heck in because I've been missing way too much. We had Rachel from The Bachelorette, Alex from Temptation Island, Hannah from The Mole, and QT from The Circle. They ended up sending Freddie on a date with Rachel, and then they kind of had an argument because Ollie wanted to send Louis on a date with Alex, but AD was convinced that Ollie wanted this girl and develop for himself. They were going back and forth on that, but in the end, Ollie won and he sent Louis on a date with Alex. But I kind of think it was a mix between AD thought Ollie wanted that girl in for himself, and also she did say that one of the girls was her friend, and I think she just wanted to help get her into the villa. I do think Ollie's argument was right. Alex is more Louis' type, and Ollie wanted drama. He wanted Louis to switch up. As soon as they go back and reveal that Freddie's going on a date, Madison starts crying. Now, she has known Freddie for less than 24 hours. I actually need her to get out of my face because she is so manipulative. She is literally the same girl we've seen on Love is Blind. She was literally sobbing because he's going on a date. She doesn't even know his second name. I need her to go. She needs to go home. I don't need her to be in this season. Episode 3 is enough. You can go now. And Ollie even clocked it. She was like, he's not going to war. Why is she crying? She's manipulating him with tears. And that's exactly what she was doing because Freddie is just too nice. He didn't have his sister there to hold his hand and guide him through this journey. So I think Freddie's going to struggle. We also see when Rachel comes back from the date, she's not from The Bachelorette. Is that a show? I don't know. But she is a Bachelorette, and she was actually on Clayton's season. And Clayton and Rachel both spoke about how on their show they had like an ex and it ended in turmoil. They were the ex. So I understand it, Netflix. I get it. I get why Clayton's here because you needed them to face off. I understand it now. Because otherwise there's no other reason to have Clayton in here except for that he's an asshole man, and I guess you need ratings. And yeah, I understand, okay? I understand. I get why Rachel is here, but honestly, I think her and Freddie really vibe together. Carrington, being the man that he is, tries to worm his way back in with Rachel. He's like, there's a reason we were brought here, and obviously the reason is so we could be brought back together. No, it's not, honey, because you said it yourself. You said on your season, everybody else thought you were supposed to end up with Rachel, and you were the only one that didn't see it. Therefore, Netflix also seen it and thought this will bring ratings, okay? It wasn't, oh, we were brought here to get back together. That's not what happened here. That's not what happened. Rachel was more close earlier on. She said she was brought here to meet Freddie. I would rather see that happen than watch Carrington get anywhere near the final of this show. And Louis definitely almost fumbled Sandy. He nearly fell for Alex. I honestly thought he was going to kiss her on the date, but he was on his best behavior. It's like he knows there's cameras around. No, but honestly, Clayton is honestly the biggest loser. Rachel would be so much better off without her. Like she said, her mother would be so pissed off at her. She just shouldn't go back there. She should go with Freddie, and then that means Madison goes home, Clayton eventually goes home, and we all get to enjoy the show a bit more. But honestly, I think if Rachel and Freddie had coupled up, Madison would have got back in with Clayton. So either way, we weren't gonna lose either of them, were we? I do genuinely feel like Madison pressures Freddie so much. Like, she sat down to talk to him. Freddie doesn't have a lot going on up here. It's like there's a lot of air floating around inside his head, and I don't actually mean that disrespectfully. I really like Freddie. He's just a little bit lost in this world, if you get what I mean. They were in the kitchen talking, and she's like, oh, you look nice tonight. And he's like, yeah, I was trying to impress my date. Like, that is the girl that you're apparently trying to get with, and you're just telling her about how you're trying to impress other women. And then when they sit down, because she's getting impatient and she wants the match, he's like, yeah, I really like her. Like, I think we have a good thing. She starts going on about how they have this deep connection, and she hasn't felt this way about a guy in so long. Like, you actually know him less than 24 hours, but it worked. She manipulated him into matching with her, and yeah, unfortunately we need Ollie to help free Freddie. So hopefully he clocks on and helps his boy be free, because Madison's crazy. I'm sorry, the way she goes on, the way she acts with the guys, it's just a little cuckoo. Maybe we should send Alex from Love is Blind in. That would be interesting. But obviously Clayton and Rachel are having a conversation, and again we see Miss Juliet come in and be like, no, I need to be part of this conversation. I need 5 minutes with Clayton. And I think she finally understands he's played in her face this whole time. He has no respect for her, never mind likes her. He has zero respect for her as a human being. He doesn't regard her at all. She finally gets it now, and it's a little bit too late, because now you're going home. You sent Cody home and Carrington home for this man that couldn't even stand the sight of you. Now you are going home, unfortunately. I actually felt so bad for Juliet in that moment. Like, we should bring her back in later on in the season, because she kind of deserves to stay. But right now, surprisingly, Clayton is actually the worst man on this show. He has played in her face all week, and yeah, I just don't think she deserves that. He doesn't deserve Rachel. He doesn't deserve happiness at the end of the show. Louis was actually really stuck between Sandy and Alex, and I honestly thought he was gonna go with Alex, especially because he could hear Sandy bitching about him down below. She was talking about how this new girl's not gonna be able to handle him, and he took that really offensively. Sandy ended up working her magic and making him choose her. I was impressed that he actually stayed with Sandy, but I don't believe it. Obviously I don't believe that Louis likes Sandy. He's literally being exposed right now for being a clout chaser. I don't believe Sandy either. I like Sandy, I do. Most people don't, and that's probably an unpopular opinion, but I do like Sandy, and I liked her with JR. Yeah, I don't like her with Louis. He's just to keep her there, okay? She knows what she's doing, she's staying in there, and that's it. But that was up to episode 3, so I need to go and watch the next 3 episodes before more drops. I will meet you back here after the next 3 episodes, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. Let me know in the comments down below who you are loving this season, who you can't wait to see in this season, if you are loving Ollie and AD as much as I am, because they, honestly, their love story, I'm loving it already. They're all over each other in every episode. That's episode 1, 2, and 3 wrapped up. I will see you guys in the next video.